What's up, LA YouTubers? This is Reagan here, and today I have to share with you something that I'm sure many of you, just like myself, have been skeptical of for a little while. And this is it's an octopus squishy by Fufu Squishy. It's that viral squishy that's been going all around Facebook, TikTok, pretty much all over social media. And I thought, this would actually be a good one if it was actually real. So I decided to take a chance and actually purchase one. And I like it a lot. It's actually a lot of fun to play with, but the problem is everything sticks to it. And as you can see with it, because of where things have stuck to it and I've had to pull it off, particularly hairs and things like that, unfortunately sometimes it makes marks on it, so just be prepared for that. The only way to really avoid that is not to take it out of the package at all that it comes in. But I mean, each to his own, but where's the fun in that? But I'll say this is probably the best stress relief / squishy I've ever had, and I love it. It's so much fun, and you can just see the satisfaction that it brings. You can literally squeeze this thing all day long. Now, one thing that I did do to try to, be more cautious of it is I did take off my wedding bands when I do play with it, simply because, I think that's partly what caused some of the marks on this thing to begin with. So if you're someone that wears your wedding bands all the time, you might want to take them off if you're playing with this or really any kind of finger jewelry in general, because like I said, this thing, it's very easy to make marks and impressions in it, just because of how it's made. And when I first got it out of its package, it had some of that stuff anyway, and I don't think it's anything bad or there's anything wrong with it. I just think that's just how it's made. But the cool thing about it is I can literally stretch this thing all I want and just have fun, and it doesn't, no part of it comes off on my hand. It just kind of goes back to its its regular shape, doesn't demold or anything like that. It just goes back to its original shape. Now I will say that it leaves maybe a little bit of residue behind, but nothing real bad. Just basically how when you put lotion on your hands and it kind of has that soft after feel, it's basically like that. I don't think I can recall ever having just big chunks of it peeling off. Now, I may have had something happen once where just a little bit came off, and I think that's because I think my ring got a hold of it or something, and it got caught between my rings one time and it pulled a piece out. Not a big piece, just a small little something. But other than that, it really doesn't have an issue with leaving anything behind on your hands. There's nothing there. Just the regular feel that it leaves behind, when you get done playing with it. But yeah, Fufu Squishy, it's a good one. I got 2 of them, one for me and one for a dear friend of mine. And of course I'm picking hairs out of it already, because like I said, everything sticks to this little guy. And some of you might remember that I had another octopus that I did a review on by A&A Global. They're great to just sit around, but if you want something that's got constant squeeze that will not lose its shape and will literally last forever, this is the best way to go. I mean, look at this. It's not even falling off of me. I mean, it is sticky, really, really sticky, no joke. One thing I will say though is when you're not playing with it, you might want to keep it on top of or even inside of a Ziploc bag or something, because if you take it out of its packaging, that's what you'll have to do, because the original packaging, or at least the one that mine came in, you will have to cut it in order to get it out. So just be wary of that. So if you get one of these, make sure you have just just a regular Ziploc bag or something you can put it in or set it on top of, because you don't want to, I don't think you would want to put this on top of furniture, because, you know, if it's left on there for too long and you don't have something to peel it off of, it could leave something behind if it sticks there too long, because, like I said, it is extremely, like, sticky. I mean, sticky. And if, you know, if it's left somewhere too long, yeah, you could have a big old mess potentially if you're not careful. So, yeah, real important to, yeah, like, I could play with this thing all day long. Like, I love it so much. And the thing with squishies that I've come to find in general is they're not going to necessarily be perfect all the time. I've probably had this thing for about maybe, how long? Maybe 3 or 4 days now. But so far though, it's holding up really well. You know, it's going back to its shape. It doesn't have any like big gouges under. I mean, it's got like marks on it, obviously, number one, because that's how it sort of came anyway. And like I said, it's a squishy, and that's just something that kind of happens with squishies. So, like I say, squishies are hard because they're not gonna have like a pristine shape, like something that's glass, or not shape, that smooth, flawless look like glass or plastic or what have you. You're just not gonna get that with a squishy most of the time, unless it's one of those El Cheapo plastic ones. But the problem with those is, you know, you squeeze it too much and eventually it loses its shape, or they pop. There's no popping with this, because this thing is not like water filled like most of them. This one here is more what I would say, this is like made of food grade silicone and such. So yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about it popping as far as that goes. But I actually did order another octopus, like a baby blue one. This is like the crystal blue one. So I got one that was non-crystal, just to see if there was like a difference, like if there's a texture difference or whatever, to see if that one was better for squeezing versus this one here. But like I say, I'm not complaining, because it's, like I said, it's for stress relief. It's meant to be squished like so. It's meant for that. So if you're looking for something to stay pristine all the time, this is going to drive you nuts, because this is what happens to it, unfortunately. And like I say, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just part of it. But one thing I will say though is, if you take care of it and you put it away when you're done and you wash it after each use, it'll stay clean, at least. You know, if you take care of it and you kind of do the extra work to kind of keep things off of your hands that it could get caught on, like rings and such. And I know not everyone will want to do that, and that's fair. But what I'm saying though, in order to keep it looking somewhat flawless, that's something you might want to consider doing. But I tell you though, I love playing with this thing. This is like the most satisfying thing I've ever touched. Like, it is just, I love this so much. I love it. And it's, you know, despite it's got like little quote unquote snags, because I've been playing with it and whatnot, this is probably the best, I kid you not, the best quality squishy I have ever had or come across. Really probably the best stress toy I've ever come across or had in my possession. It's just so much fun to play with, and I love it. And it's also good for, like, for example, for like bath time and things like that. If you just want to take it in the water with you, or even in a swimming pool, maybe you could take it in there and just have fun with it. The only thing I would say about a swimming pool is you might want to watch these around chemicals, because I don't know if it would react well with that. Regular bath water or something is fine, you know, especially when you take soap and water to it. It gets like so smooth and it's just kind of fun just to kind of slip around in your hands. But yeah, I will say the viral squishies that everyone has been seeing is in fact real. It's legit, and if anybody wants to buy one, I mean, I would recommend it. I mean, they're super fun to play with, but just keep in mind that they're not going to stay, you know, they're not going to keep that smooth, pristine look because, like I say, it's a squishy and that's just part of it. And if there's hairs or something that get in there, I mean, you can pluck them out. Just be careful when you do it. Just use gentle force. Like I've been trying to get one out of it here now for a little bit. One of my dog hairs somehow got into it. I'm trying to get it out. But I'll probably have to fool with that once I get finished with this so I don't damage it. But anyway, I hope you guys have a marvelous day, and let me know if you decide to get one of these. Bless y'all. Bye.